Hey YouTube, Herbal Prepper here, and today you are looking at a bunch of homemade MREs. Now, the reason I'm showing you this is because if you're making your own MREs and you're doing it with a bunch of different types of things like noodles, rice, beans, soup mixes, oats, you're going to have a difference in the material and how it looks, in other words. So, for those of you that don't know, the air that we breathe is made up of 80% nitrogen and about 20% oxygen. So that means if you're vacuum sealing something, you're removing the oxygen and the nitrogen. However, if you are using an O2 absorber, you're only absorbing the oxygen. So you can have some that looks like a vacuum sealed, as you can see here, and then you can have some that looks more like this, that's not so much vacuum sealed. Now it really has to do with what's in it. Now this is beans. Beans are very dense, so you would use more oxygen absorbers than you would for something that's less dense. And so all of these are quart sizes, which I use 300 cc O2 absorbers, but this is grits, okay? And if you could feel this, it's pretty tight, which means that there's not a lot of air or oxygen or anything in there, but as you can see, it's not vacuum sealed like this, okay? Another one that's similar is, this is a tortilla soup mix, and I take it and cut it off and stick it to the back, and then I do my own directions on the front. It's not, see, you can see right here where it's not very tight. The thing with that is it could either be your O2 absorber was not very good, or it could be that it's just pulled most of the oxygen out, if not all, and what's left behind is nitrogen. And nitrogen won't hurt your food, okay? So if you do prefer to have a more vacuum sealed look, now because this is small, it's grit, so it's very small, and so you won't see a defined look like this. Even if you vacuum seal it, it'll just get real hard. But for the most part, this is sealed, okay? This one I have a few concerns about as to whether it's sealed or not. Like I said, it could be that all the oxygen is gone and there's only nitrogen left over. Or it could be it was completely messed up, default. I need to cut it back open and start over. And the problem here is once you've sealed it up and cut it back open, then you have to kind of make the bag smaller, in other words, because then you're going to cut off what you've used, and then you'll seal it down here. Because see, I accidentally sealed this all the way rather than sealing it right where my little notches are, and below here would not be sealed, so I could just tear it and then still have a Ziploc. But unfortunately, if I have to redo that one, I won't. But as you can see, all these are beans and rice, and this is black pepper, and I usually don't use a lot of, for spices and stuff, an O2 absorber, but I did for that. Now as we move on down, you will see lentils right here. Lentils are like split peas. This is a lentil split pea mix. This is enough to last a good while. And then as we move on down, you will see this is chicken noodle soup. As you can see, it's not very tight, which, like I said, is concerning. Could be a default messed up faulty O2 absorber, or it could be that it really just did its job and it just doesn't always turn out looking like that. Same thing with my oats here. Now I am definitely worried about this one. This is mashed potatoes, and this is a gallon size bag here, so but anyways, I am worried about this because I have compared this oats to this one. This is oats as well, and see how this one is sealed and this one is not. So this is probably has to do with the messed up oxygen absorber. So I will probably cut this back open and seal it again down here. So guys, I just wanted to show you a video on not every time that you seal up your stuff will it come out perfect. Okay, you're going to have problems and issues that you need to correct. Now these 3 here, 4, whatever, if that one's, you know, it's not a big deal out of the 20 that I did. But also keep in mind, guys, if you have to redo it, you don't want to jump over $1 to save a few pennies. Now what do I mean by that? Basically, you're saying, oh man, now I've got to cut this open and I've got to reseal it with another oxygen absorber. Oh, I don't have that many oxygen absorbers. What you're doing is you're jumping, oxygen absorbers are very cheap. You're jumping over $1, and what do I mean by $1? This right here, grits and the soup mix, oats, chicken noodle soup, and the mashed potatoes all cost much, much more than what that few little oxygen absorbers that I'm going to be using. So you're jumping over $1 to save a couple pennies on, let's see, on some oxygen absorbers, okay? So keep that in mind. Also keep in mind when you do bust them open that they do absorb oxygen, and there's really no cutoff. You can't stop that. So make sure when you cut them open and you put them in a mason jar, you use them very quickly after, okay? You don't want to have them sitting around for years and days. See, I try to keep that in there. And then if you do, you end up with something like this where they don't work as well. So I hope this video helps explain a little bit to you guys on how you will probably have to sort through a few issues, troubleshooting. But for me, from this point, what I do is I take them now and I wrap them in silicone. And once I wrap them in silicone, I turn around and I put them in there. And that's what they look like when they are ready to go in a cool, dark area, wrapped up with extra protection. So anyways, you guys have a great day, and hope this is a blessing to you.